television highlights of the news of yesteryear. It's 1919, and here are leading investigators in probe of recently finished World Series. This is foreman of grand jury Brigham, and here are first films ever made of grand jury hearing evidence in actual session. Here's Rube Benton of Giants, who was once offered bribe to throw game. Mystery woman in case is Mrs. Henrietta Kelly. Even Giant manager John McGraw was among the baseball big shots who testified before the grand jury. Testimony of pitcher Edward Cicotte is said to have been most incriminating evidence. And when, after the famed White Sox fielder Shoeless Joe Jackson confessed his guilt, it's said that one weeping fan of his cried out, "Say it isn't so." Found guilty of conspiracy to fix World Series are 8 of White Sox team. And here are actual films of sensational fourth inning of first game between White Sox and Cincinnati Reds, with pitcher Cicotte a little too obviously being knocked from box. Something wasn't right, and thousands mourned the proof that baseball wasn't fully honest. In move to clean up game, team owners in 1920 made Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis High Commissioner of National Pastime, and he brought baseball back. But Babe Ruth, too, was a big help to the commissioner with his spindle legs, beaming face, and booming bat. Even when the Bambino hit a single, thousands cheered and thousands more fought to see him play the game. Here in World Series of early 20s, Babe blasts a three-bagger, and millions forget the White Sox scandal. And here's another hero. It's Casey Stengel of the Giants. And the McGraw men are victorious. For this time, the mighty Casey did not strike out.
It's June 1926. At Galesburg, Illinois, here's Ernest Vicknell's world's fastest bricklayer in action. He paves road 100 bricks a minute, and it takes 60 brick carriers to keep him supplied. If this looks easy, let us warn you that each brick weighs 9 pounds, and Vicknell's is not just a pretty good road paver, he's best road paver in the world.
It's 1921, and in nation's capital, firemen of City of Washington prepare to enter house filled with deadly ammonia fumes. Gases are often cause of death or serious injury to firemen, and lessons learned in First World War are being put to good use in peace. But in 1939, the possibility of gas in wartime comes again. Here in field maneuvers, real gas is poured over mock battlefield, and soldiers of peacetime get little inside information on gas attacks inside their masks. War again threatens Europe as the fall of 1939 approaches, and war brings with it a threat of deadly gas. This test is dangerous as real thing. Note that even cameramen at safe distance away from gas clouds wear masks. Yes, in summer of 1939, we hoped for peace. But if war came, we were certain then that gas would be its cruelest weapon and Adolf Hitler's most wanton killer. And as war threatened England in 1939, British babies too were prepared for the worst. Encased in gas-proof suit from head to foot, Baby got air by accordion pump at end of one sleeve. War came, but gas didn't, though England was ready for both.
Here's George Gray Barnard, one of this nation's leading sculptors. It's 28th of October, 1930, and John D. Rockefeller has sold Barnard's studio out from under him. Barnard's reaction to moving? I won't do it. George Gray Barnard was great sculptor and determined tenant, too. After a historic mission to Moscow, Elihu Ruth heads a group of dignitaries standing on steps of New York City Hall. It's 1917, and statesman Ruth poses proudly with New York's Mayor Mitchell. And after their unprecedented trip to the Kremlin, Ruth and his party prepare for a triumphant tour up Broadway.
It's the late 1920s, and near Carpenter, Michigan, here's a result of open switch. Error in clearance on main line brings two passenger trains together head-on. Wreckage of rolling stock is almost complete, and this is sort of accident that always means high casualties. Locomotives of both trains are wrecked and derailed by impact of the crash. Roofs of cars are twisted, sides crushed and pulverized. Wrecking crew gets right to work removing smashed trains from tracks, and service is soon again returned to normal on this wreck-strewn Michigan Central right-of-way.
Swinging down the lane from New York's Columbus Circle, here's toe dancer Mary Rizzo adding to traffic hazard on the gay White Way. It's 20th of May, 1930, and Broadway hears the beat of Mary's dancing feet in gay stunt in Depression year. All Quiet on the Western Front is leading film fare of the day as Miss Rizzo completes her toe-twinkling tour with Big Kiss from Admiring Mama.
At Arlington, Virginia, in early 1940s, Walter Winchell gets American Legion Medal and gives a speech.
We believe that Americanism in its truest form is a message to all and not to the few. That it means tolerance and helpfulness toward our neighbors and not a restriction based on race, color, or creed. We should all be thankful that in civilization's darkest hour, our country is the land that stands for freedom, tolerance, and the dignity of man.
It's August 25th, 1930, and at Roosevelt Field, New York, plane in hands of 18-year-old pilot comes in for smooth landing. Flyer is young Eddie Schneider, just in from West Coast in new record time for junior aviators of 27 hours and 15 minutes. Eddie's proud to be flying in wake of his idol, Lucky Lindy. But on 18th of October same year, plane lands at Newark, New Jersey airport with another youth at controls, and Eddie's record falls. This pilot is 16-year-old Bob Buck, here getting happy greeting from Mother and Father Buck. It's a kiss for the new king of junior flyers, for Bob made coast-to-coast hop in less than 24 hours.
The Buggy Day Bride. It's 1900 and everything here belongs to the horse and buggy era but the rice. That hairdo must be a good rice catcher. No self-respecting honeymooners in 1900 went anywhere but to Niagara Falls. Hey, are they going to ride in separate buggies? Oh, so this is what they meant by the carriage trade. Just look at that old-fashioned valise. Careful you don't crush it with those heavy blows. Well, it's sturdier than we thought, twice as sturdy. Hey, you fell for each other to see the falls. So look at them.
It's 27th of August, 1927, and 39 swimmers plow waters of the Potomac at Washington, D.C. in annual 3-mile swim. Race is with the current, so pace is swift, and canoeists go at merry clip to keep up with the swimmers. The sun goes down as end of the grueling marathon nears. Representing New York Athletic Club, 16-year-old Ray Ruddy takes an early lead and wins race. Young Ruddy won't put water in that cup. He's seen enough of it today. Winner Ruddy, center, poses proudly with fellow members of New York Athletic Club who took marathon's first 5 places. Higher and higher. It's 30th of July, 1930, and here are speeding autos entered in 12-mile climb to the top of Colorado's Pikes Peak. It isn't only speed that counts, it's how you maneuver around those hairpin turns. One slip and you start over again at the bottom. They're after winner's laurels in National Hill Climb, and here's view of Glenn Schultz, eventual winner, in motion. Schultz's lucky 11 takes a turn, and contender 15 makes part of the mountain fly. Looks as if